'Cause I've got the power and you've got the power. Then who's got the power? Everybody!
Thank you for joining us at Uncovering Mr. Right, a Royce Enterprises Incorporated sound production for entertainment purposes only. All the views and opinions by our guests are their own. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in with Uncovering Mr. Right. I'm your host, Joey Royce, and tonight on my show, I have Melissa Manuel. And Melissa's pretty popular out there on Facebook. She had a following called Random Thoughts, and we will give her a chance to talk a little bit about it as we try to find what she's been up to these last couple of years. She's published a book, and she's just been publishing a lot of random thoughts out there on Facebook. We're going to find out what's going on. You know, she's been dating, been matching people up. What's up? Hey, Melissa, how you doing today?
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Good. So what's going on with you? What's going on?
Pretty much just been busy, been working, and I understand you just said that I published a book that was 13 years ago.
13 years ago. Wow.
13 years ago. 13 years ago. Seems
Now,
like yesterday, doesn't it?
yeah. Now, I remember that book, but you was working on something else with a co-author. What happened with that project?
I was working on something with one of my girlfriends, and we actually just, and believe it or not, check this out, believe it or not, we're actually still working on the book, and it's going on like 6 years. We just lost contact. She's doing her own thing, and, you know, I'm doing my own thing, and the job that I have now doesn't allow me a lot of free time.
Right, so you're just working your butt off, huh? Trying to make a living in America. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, Melissa, I remember one time we had you on our show a while back in '07. It's called Insight into Real Men. You know, you was dropping it down. You was in a couple of relationships then. So what's been going on since then? I mean, have you found yourself as a woman? You know what you want, what you don't want, what you'll tolerate, what you will tolerate. What's going on with Melissa right now?
I am single and been single since last year, October of last year. I have been dating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have been dating because I don't have the time. My job doesn't allow me to give up a lot of my free time, and my kids are grown, so that's not a problem. Right. I do have a friend, you know, that I actually see, and I don't say we're dating. He's just the only person that I am, you know, that I do go out with and I spend time with. But because he has a lot going on too, and I do too, our schedules conflict. So
okay, let's talk about that a little bit.
We're not an item, but you know.
Yeah. Let's talk about that because I mean things have changed now with people. You know, you get a certain age. You know, we're not in our 20s, we're not in our 30s. I'm not in my 40s anymore. I don't know about you. I know you're much younger, but we change. I think society has changed the way we do business, the way we have relationships, the way we raise our children. What has it done, you know, for you? You know, trying to, you know, save your home, keep food on the table for yourself, keep a roof on the house, because we have to replace those things sometimes. And I know you're a hard worker. Now, the job got a little control of you right now, right? Is it because you like it that much, or is just the income is great? You know,
actually,
what's the deal?
It's both. And because I've always been in a relationship since the age of 15, and I'm 43 now, I'll be 44 in April.
Right.
I've always been in a relationship, always. And right now, I just want to date because I don't have a lot of things that I'm going to tolerate, you know, at this day and age. And that's why I'm single, because a lot of things I will not tolerate. I have a lot of girlfriends in relationships. I don't have a lot of friends that are married, but I do have, you know, few that are married. But most of them are just dating or in long-term relationships. A lot of things I'm just not willing to accept.
Okay.
You know?
So I mean, what happened? I mean, is it the same stuff that's happening that these guys are coming with, or is it's different stuff, and you just say no, it's not going to happen. You got no time for that. What's the deal?
Basically the same. And I've always been in long-term relationships. I don't jump in and out of relationships, and the longest I've been in relationships is anywhere from like 2 to 4 years.
Mhm.
And like I said, a lot of things I just won't tolerate. And that's why when I meet people, I just say keep it, keep it 100. Are you dating
Right.
other people?
Right.
Are you dating other people? Do you have that special someone? Because trust me, everybody has someone. You didn't just meet me and say, "Oh, you're single."
Mhm.
Everybody has someone that they are with, even if it's just that one person, but that they're
Yeah.
spending most of their time with. And that's why communication is the key in the beginning, because that
Mhm.
way you don't get lost in the end. And I'm 43. I'm not 23. I'm not 33 anymore. I'll soon be
Right.
53. So I think you just got to be straight up, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the guy you was talking about, I mean, he's somebody you trust. So I mean, you guys like go out together, you physical together, but it's not like you love him, but you're not in love with him. Is that kind of cat?
He's always been around. He's always been around. Even when I was with when I was in two relationships, I even had to
Mhm.
tell him, I think I'm gonna slip, so I think we just need to stop speaking. And he respected
Mhm.
that. And actually, I got
Right.
back in contact with him last year,
Okay.
after I left my friend. And one thing he can say about me is I'm honest, and I will tell him
Right.
straight. I am very honest. And if I met somebody today, I would say, well, I'm really not dating, but I am seeing someone.
Right.
But yeah, he's
So you
somebody that
trust
I
him?
love. Yeah, I do,
O-
kind of, sorta.
Okay.
I do.
Right.
I just think
Now,
that with
now.
both of us living in Baltimore, we could
Mhm.
spend a little bit more time together.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. Now, are you in rotation with him? Because he's just one of him right now. It's not like you got another guy in D.C., guy in Philly, and you see him, whenever you feel like, who you want to see. Now, with him, I mean, is there someone else he could be seeing, or you just don't care?
And you know what? It probably is. Probably is.
But it's
But I
right, but
just got
you,
to
you
worry
don't care.
about when he's with me. I can't
Right.
worry about when
Okay.
he's with someone else. I just have to worry about
Right.
when he was, and he probably is.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm
mean,
not
but right
young anymore.
now,
I'm not peeking behind the cars. I'm not
right.
busting out the windows. I'm not flattening any tires. So
Right. It's an understanding. So it's an
he say
understanding
he
now.
don't have any other friends, but who am I to question him? He say
Yeah, I
he
mean,
don't.
he probably don't have no reason to lie to you about it. He probably not. Maybe, he likes the convenience. You guys, if you want to go to the movies, hey, let's go, right?
Yep,
You want to go for a long drive?
yep.
Bam, you're good to go. He feels good about you. Now, I heard about those kind of relationships. Especially when you like in your 40s. A lot of women, they kind of like settling in. They trying to retire where they are. They don't want no more drama. And it could be that one guy. He has his place, you got your place. Bam. It's like a lot of people like that and enjoy that part. But what's gonna happen when you turn in your fifties and sixties, you start saying, wow, I really like to grow old with somebody. I can hold their hand and sit on the porch. Would there ever come a time for that again for you?
Um, it will, it will. But I've been through a lot since 2008, and I really just need to get Melissa together first, because I can't be no good to anybody if I can't get
Right.
me together first. I have a little bit of
Sure.
trust issues, and
Hmm.
that's something that I have to work on. And I
Okay, trust
probably
issue.
will be.
Huh.
I probably.
So, Melissa, so what's the deal with the trust issue? I mean, what type of guys are you saying that you got this trust? Because I heard this before, from you about the trust thing, and it was a couple of guys. I mean, what type of guys are these?
um immature, immature. Like I can't. I One thing I don't like, and we have a lot of girl talk. And
Hmm.
that's why I put that page, Random Thoughts, because a lot of people, and I'm not saying this to put me on a pedestal, but a lot of people, they inbox me when I do postings on Facebook and say, wow, Melissa, you just touched me. Because I know what a lot of my friends have gone through,
Right.
and are going through. A lot of us,
Hmm.
we're losing relationships. A lot of my friends lost their kids at teenage, like 18 and 17. A lot of them
Right.
losing their homes, losing their jobs. So I know what a lot of people are going through. And if I put it out there,
Yeah.
then maybe I can make them feel good. Because sometimes I have to look at my post and reread it throughout the day to motivate me.
Yeah. Because it's real. It's real. I was following you for a couple of years. And like I told you earlier,
that pretty much generated my thought about doing uncovering Mr. Right, because I was hearing you guys, writing posts about men, what you're going through with your kids, the relationships, and it's like if they just had somebody to go through those things with, it'd be easier. Because everybody has issues and problems they're going through. People with money, people with no money, we got the same stuff. It's just that some of the people that got the money just, can kind of like pay their way out of some of the situations, like rotten kids, send them to boarding school,
Right, right.
something like that. Or you got a house, you just pay the maid to clean. You don't have to worry about rushing home from work to clean it. So it's just a money difference. But other than that, the life issues are the same. you
True.
know. But it's hard to go through those things that you mentioned on your site by yourself.
It is.
You can't put it all on your mom. You can't put it on your girlfriend. It's like it's really your thing. But you need that significant other to help you cope. Make you feel good, rub your shoulder, rub your back, fix you a nice hot bath. Those kind of things. Pour you a glass of wine. Just make you forget about your troubles.
That's true. Like a day like
And that's
today.
yeah, and that's what Mr. Right is for. That's exactly what he's for. Now you've been around for a while. Now, where these guys are that you're meeting? I mean, where are you finding these guys at? Where are they finding you?
Most of them I knew, like I already knew. Um, most of them I already knew. For the most
Hmm.
part, a lot of them I knew. But like I said, earlier, I was trying to get out. A lot of my trust issues come from going out on a date. And one thing I can't stand for a man to do, like, and I'm saying this to all women, you got to pay attention to who you're with. Because if you're with me and we're going out, I don't need you checking your cell phone every 5 minutes. That is so unattractive to me. It really is.
Right,
You keep peeking at your cell phone, you holding your phone under the table and texting. Like, I won't have any more conversation with you after that.
right.
Because
Now you don't set no ground rules up before the date start.
I don't think I should have to.
No, you have to. You got some guys that they get away with that stuff. I'm gonna tell you, like right now, by me being in business, I rely on my phone to bring me information. So, when I was at the dinner table with the kids on my son's birthday the other day, they said, "Dad, no cell phone tonight." I was like, "Okay," and they reminded me, and I just cut it off, put it in my pocket. I think, I think when a man and woman is going out for the first time, I think somebody should say, let's cut our phones off, stick it in our pockets, or leave it in the car, or whatever. We don't need the phone right now. It's us.
Right.
You have to. You got. It's communication. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been working in communication for 6 months in the actual communication department, and I just didn't find out how important it is. Because we work with the commissioner, and communicating with the public. And it's funny because all these years, you working for companies and agencies, and you guys deciding what the public wants when we really never ask them. And that's the same thing with a relationship. You have to ask that person what they want and what they expect from you, and vice versa. Because you can't just let them guess. And a lot of times we do that unintentionally, right?
True. True.
So you next time you go on a date, you say, "Sir," or whatever, say whatever his name is, Bob. Let's just cut our phones off and it's just be us. Let's get this thing going. It's just a date, but you asked me out, not your phone.
Right. Right.
You're not trying to. And then I found out it was funny. I was in the barbershop. In the barbershop. And basically, I'm telling you guys this because I know I'm bringing it from a man perspective for your friends. Because I know they're going to be listening to the show. I was in the barbershop talking to Doc over at Dynasty on Brentbrook. Hey, Doc. And I was reading this book called Management Conflict. He said, "You still reading that book?" I said, "No, man, it's another book. Because every time I come to this barbershop, I got a different book. Sometimes it take me maybe a couple of weeks to finish it because my son goes, he has the same appointment every other Wednesday. We're there. So, he says, so I said, "You know what, Doc?" It was after, he finished up the hair. I said, "It's funny about these books. They're all about the same thing, but all the authors had written them all different perspectives." And I said, "This one was one of the best ones because it's a husband and wife that wrote the book. So they're not just thinking about the conflicts and communication issues that's on the job. They talking about in your house, in your neighborhood, the community pool. It could always be conflict, and they're very unproductive. So when they said that, I said, wow, that is with a relationship. If you don't communicate and then you have an issue down the line, you wasting a lot of energy, unproductive time arguing about it, and then it depends on how the person say it back. They were talking about how certain words to use, and I never seen it that way before. They actually chose phrases for you, certain word choices. I mean, this was one of the better books I've read, and I said, wow. If I ever get in a situation with my wife, instead of saying, "Well, you do this," I could say, "Well, let's just talk about what you don't like what I just did." Certain ways you could say it, because now it brings the level down. Because then they get a chance to say, "Well, I don't like how you leave the dishes in the sink after dinner and think someone else gonna come behind you and clean it." And so now, you kind of feeling like, okay, you're right. I do that.
Right.
Cause you do it, right?
Right.
So that's the same thing when you sit down at the dinner table. As soon as you guys sit down, say, hey, Mike, let's cut our phones off. This is about you and I tonight. You asked me out. You spending some good money, on this date. Let's enjoy each other. And let me respect you by not checking my girlfriend's text. You know, and so he gonna think the same thing. Wow, because you could be doing the same thing, checking your phone while he's trying to conversate with you,
True.
right?
True.
So you feeling that?
Yeah.
All right, see, there's something to learn here. Now, I didn't know that was like a really big problem until you said it
Right.
for a first date.
Well, it is a real big problem because the first impression is the last impression.
Yes, it is.
And I will tell somebody in a minute. And I'm not going to lie. I have several, I have guys, of course, approach me and, they'll ask me, do you have a boyfriend? Are you married? And I'll say, I don't have a boyfriend, but I have a friend that I'm saying. Like, I'm honest. And how many guys would say that? Not a lot.
Right.
Not a lot.
That's true.
That's why I say you just got to be honest, because if you're just in it for one thing, just be honest. I mean, a lot of people just want to, have sex and leave their feelings in the sheet, and that if that's what you agree upon, what is so wrong with that?
Yep, right. Just put it out there. Say, hey, you know what? I'm not looking for a relationship right now. I'm just looking for somebody to do some things with. Put it just like that. You don't have to be specific. You don't have to say just to go to the movies or just read books together. Just and let it build. And then you know what? It's funny because there was a couple people in the show said exactly what you said, and then they kind of disappeared. Kept in contact, and then they kind of came together at different times when they were really ready to just drop everything and just put time into one another. That can happen.
Yep.
Because everything's about seasons now. But look, Melissa, we coming up on 17 minutes. We're gonna come up on the second segment of the show. I really appreciate that. Was some strong communication right there. I think everybody learned something from that. Now hold tight, everybody. We'll be right back with Melissa Manuel. She was the author of On a Mission Manual, Random Thoughts, and hopefully she'll bring that back because that was very powerful. Stay tuned, everybody. Hey, y'all, we back again with Melissa Manuel. She's from the Baltimore area, and we're sitting here, on the two-way, just bringing it to you. And I'm enjoying this conversation, Melissa, because, we're learning some things here. That the biggest thing that we learned on the first segment, to me, was communication.
Yep.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
What'd you say about that?
I definitely agree.
Absolutely.
Agree.
Now, you think that may have been a lot of the mistakes that were made by some of the guys you saw, and maybe your mistake for not pointing it out in the beginning?
Well, I think with my last relationship, I don't think communication was the issue, because I can honestly say, and I was with him for 3.5 years, I believe, and I ended that last October.
Right.
The thing about that, I think he just was an angry man, and he just had a lot going on. He went through a divorce, and, I stuck beside him while he was going through the divorce. It got final. Our biggest thing, because we did a lot of things together that we both enjoyed doing, he was just so envious of me, and he like to put me down and made me feel bad about myself. And I'm not saying he called me all kinds of names or, if we're out in public and somebody I went to school with hadn't seen me in over 20 years, and they would say, "Oh, Melissa, you look great. You lost weight." Um, and then when I wrote a book, of course it was 13 years ago. I would leave. I still have copies left, so people still want to order them. And because I'm self-published, of course, I'm going to still promote it. So I would leave the book on the table, and he would say, "Wow, why you got your book out on the table? You telling people you wrote a book?" I just thought he was very envious of me, and don't ask me why, but he just was. And later on at night, he would say, "Remember the girl we saw at the mall that said you lost weight? Do you really think you lost weight?" He was just insecure with himself. Yeah, he had a lot of issues going on, but communication with us was kind of really not the problem. I think it was trust and jealousy on his
Well,
half.
he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't supportive.
Right,
of you.
right, not at all. But he wasn't there with me when I wrote the book, so he don't understand. He didn't understand.
Yeah, you wasted some time, but I'm sure you learned something from that.
Definitely.
And sometimes, you're going to be with somebody for a long period of time because, at the time you're kind of ignorant of the fact that person not good for you. You just feel like you just need somebody at the time, and you're just waiting around for the next person to come along. So you say, hey, they just here, let them hang around. And I mean, men do the same thing with women. You show up at their doorstep, you come in, you sit down, watch TV, because you haven't found nothing else constructive to do with yourself yet. And next thing you know, you're bringing a child in the relationship, and right now you got another type of attachment going on. But that's not good at all. Wow, that is something. You said 3 years?
Yep, it was 3.5 years, and I'm glad that I left that alone. But I just need to breathe, and I just want someone when I do decide that I want to settle down, because I do, but not right now. I just don't want to keep jumping in and out of relationships. I need to spread my wings. I need to be free. I need someone genuine that could, when I get off of work, just say, "Hey, Melissa, you want to go out to dinner?" Not, "Hey, Melissa, when can I come see you?" Everybody don't need to lay where you lay your head, and everybody don't need to know where you live. I deliver mail, so I have a stressful job. Won't you, take me out to eat, or, let's go to the movies, and, mail me a card, send me flowers. I haven't had anyone genuine like that. And with my last relationship, I can honestly say that when he had a bad day, because he went through a bad divorce, when he had a bad day, or I thought he had a bad day, or even if he didn't have a bad day, I would just mail a card to his house, or I would just put it in his mailbox. "Hey, I'm just thinking about you." And I did that like basically the whole first two years of our relationship, because he actually lied in the beginning, and that's probably why we didn't work out at the end. Lied and said he had gotten a divorce. But us women, we know a lot of stuff. We know how to get on mdcourts.gov, and we investigate. We investigate, and we know people that know people. And so in the beginning, he lied. He lied and said he got a divorce, but he hadn't at that time. But that was just so. I just thought that was very petty to lie about something like that. Because a woman, number one, I'm gonna tell you one thing: they are going to be. If you meet someone and you say, "Well, hey, I'm married and I'm going through a divorce. It's nasty. I sleep in the basement. She sleep in the room." And I'm not saying it's right, but a woman is going to respect you more. You're going to respect a married man for telling the truth, and as opposed to a single man that's lying.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, you're not going to respect him for cheating, but I'm just saying you're going to respect him for being truthful, as opposed to, once again, a single man that is lying.
Now, Melissa, you talk a lot about not having time for yourself. Now, do you work? How's your schedule? I mean, do you work Tuesday through Saturday? How's your schedule? What's your off day? Like the middle of the week?
Sunday is my only off day. And,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a letter carrier, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people see us out there in the dark. There is no set time that we get off. Well, me, because I'm on the overtime desired list, so they can send me back out when I finish. It all depends on the day when you go in, how much overtime you're going to get. So every day just varies, and by the time you get off, you're very tired.
Right, physical
very
job.
tired.
Now,
yes.
Now, a job like that, you got to be real specific with your health and wellness. I mean, do you see a life coach? Are you working out with a fitness trainer? Eating right, doing smoothies? I mean, because you get a certain age. I say when you hit 35, You can't do potato chips and French fries and McDonald's like you used to. You gotta drop the red meat, white meat. I mean, take the skin off the chicken. I mean, you got to take it to another level, especially once you get a little older and you do have some health problems. What are you doing about it right now?
It's funny that you say that because I've been athletic all my life, like all my life.
I remember you was a basketball player.
Yeah, I played basketball. I coached basketball. I played softball. I ran track. When I graduated from high school in '88, in June of '88, I went on to work with the FBI in October of '88. Stayed there till 1996. I started an all women's basketball league there. For both of my Achilles, I played co-ed softball. And I've just been athletic all my life. I got into the post office at the age of 33. And that's an awful age to be delivering mail, starting to deliver mail. I think I would have did much better if I would have started fresh out of high school. But needless to say, it does keep me in shape, but this job actually will tear you apart. It will tear you apart because I was just diagnosed with asthma probably 4 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
wow. The weather, because you're dealing with that environment, right?
Mm-hmm. The mail's dirty. The workplace is filthy. It's just dust everywhere. Then you're outside in the elements and grass and everything else.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough on the body. Yeah, I heard of that's called environmental health hazard.
Mhm.
Because I heard some teachers had the same issues with their building. They're okay during the summer, but when they start back in September, their asthmas and stuff start up.
And that's very true because mine just did about November the 13th was when mine flared up. And then it just flared up again last night.
And that's when people start having this is the time when people start getting sinus infections and everything. Because it's getting colder, you find yourself inside more. And when you go outside, it's like a shock on the body,
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, so have you done anything with your diet? I mean, have you changed your diet?
I really haven't, and it's sad to say, but other than that, like I don't have any health issues. And I'll probably be delivering mail until my retirement age, which I don't have a problem with. But
right. That's when you start talking about trying to make your muscles more leaner. And that's what I'm saying. When you're younger, you're on a different level than when you get older. Now, one of the things we have at Positive Power 20, we have a life coach, and she specializes in nutrition and health wellness, and she's somebody that's going to be doing some programming. So a lot of the ladies can start looking at, if you already decided you're trying to clean your closet out with the guys, then you have to do the whole thing. You gotta work on you.
Right.
That means eating right. Exercising. I mean, you already got the exercise thing because that's your job. But once your body get adapted to that, it's really not exercise. It's just a routine.
True.
So
True.
you might have to start finding yourself coming home, pushing some light weights on the Pilates ball for about 30 minutes to start firing off other muscles besides the one that's carrying that bag. Are you carrying a bag or are you driving a car?
I'm carrying a bag. I don't want to drive a truck because that makes you lazy. I definitely like the walking. Definitely.
Yeah, I understand that. But, after a while, it start wearing on your joints and everything like that, getting hip replacement and knee replacements. So you got to be careful. And, and if you're trying to stay around for a long time and enjoy your golden years after you retire from making all that money at the post office, you got to do it now. You got to step up now. So you be in good health. So when your time comes, you're sitting around, you're 55, 60, about to retire, and you finally meet that Mr. Right. And this guy been taking care of himself because I'm going to tell you, my son, he's 10 years old. He's 11 now. He likes to work out at LifeBridge Fitness, and he's in a Parisi Speed School. He loves it. 2 days a week, sometimes one, just to get in shape for football.
Okay.
And I noticed that place specializes in seniors fitness. I mean, they have the water, the aqua, where they got the little weights in the water, and I mean, they work it out, and they found that's better on your joints. They're doing the Pilates on the machines. They do the cardio, the aerobics with the balls and the steppers, real low impact exercise, and then some of them have personal training. And I've seen some girls that's like 55. Well, maybe they're younger. Sometimes white people it's hard to tell sometimes when they start getting in their 40s. But I seen this one lady when my son started. She was kind of round. Now she's cut up, got stamina like you wouldn't believe it. I mean, she still looked like like she's in her 50s, but her body looks like she's in her 30s.
Wow.
And I mean, she finishes her exercise with a burst. Because I sit up there and watch. I need to be down there with them people too, but they be charging like $60 an hour and $90 a month for membership, and I already got my son in it. It's just not practical for us. But I do a little 30-minute thing, 15 minimum per day to try to keep the midsection right.
Right.
Keep old girl happy. So you gotta do what you gotta do, when you get up there in age. But that's some of the things, a lot of us gotta start thinking about. That's what I'm hoping I offer with our program. And that's just about, teaching you guys how to prepare yourself mentally, and then learning and understanding yourself better. Because once you get in touch with yourself like that, you start attracting those kind of people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like right out when you say, "Wow, this guy," it's like I'm in the same thing, fitness and training. It's a woman who I'm gonna be putting her show up pretty soon. She's a buddy coach, and she takes women who just had babies or whatever. She takes them out in groups of threes, and they meet over at the Randallstown track, and they work out together for hours. She does like 3 or 4 sessions a day. She's not a personal trainer. She calls herself a buddy, a
Okay.
workout buddy. And she's doing really well with it, because she had a really good job, before she started this. So she's making it happen. She's raising 3 boys, got her own home and owns mills, and she looks happy. She was around here the other day. She just looked happy, fit and happy. I was like, wow. And I think she's in her 30s, and she's dating a 25-year-old football player. What she told me. Yeah, but she's in really good shape. She sculpted her body, and she just has this amazing energy, and you attract those kind of people to you. That's what it's really about. A lot of us don't understand that, and hopefully we be able to bring those people to these sites, and you guys can start understanding what positive energy and positive thinking mean. If you want that guy, and you already fix yourself, because you want to fix yourself first,
right? Which is true.
and they're gonna come. You're not gonna get that bad stuff no more. It's just the way the rim of the world works.
Right, but like I said, I just want, and every woman does, want someone who's genuine. I want someone to understand me and the type of work that I do. Like, if it's 100 degrees outside, I mean, by all means, swing past my route and bring me some water. My ex-boyfriend lived a street over from my route and never brought me a Gatorade or water. We want genuine people. Don't do something because I'm arguing about it and I'm throwing it up in your face. Do it because that's who you are.
Well, you're gonna get rid of that stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's all done. It's gone. That guy is gone. Now it's time to pull Melissa up. Your girlfriends, your whole circle. It's time for you guys to work on you. Like I said, change that diet. Read those really good positive messages books. Those books that's out there that teach you, like those T.D. Jakes and Steve Harvey books. Those books are filled with some very enriching information that start making you say, "Wow, I never thought like that before." And believe me, if you believe in law of attraction, you really believe it. I mean, you think it. I mean, I'm talking about you dream it, you plan it, you think it will happen. Just like when you think about that job you want really bad, that's all you think about. Next thing you got that call that you got it. That's called law of attraction. You how you was dreaming all your life that you wanted a Mercedes Benz. Like most black women say, "Yeah, I always want Mercedes." And next thing I said, "Oh, you got that Mercedes. You got the job. You got the Mercedes. Now it's time to dream and plan that man." Not just taking anything across your path to look at you up and then most of the time the most assertive guys that you don't want gonna be the ones gonna pull you up in the street. Those are guys you don't want. Now if you got a guy pulled up on you because you just made him stop in his tracks, that might be a little different. But them other guys, like the ones you say you've known, like I said, you've known them. You don't want to know them.
But what if that's not what you want right now? Like I said,
no, right. It may not be the time.
Right.
You're right. It's not your time. Right now it's time for you to fix Melissa.
And I
mean, you
need
got
some
the job.
time. Like I get up and go to movies by myself on Sunday morning, the first matinee. I used to go to
Nothing
dinner
wrong with
and lunch
that.
by myself, and
nothing wrong with that.
Of course, you want someone that you can vacation with.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Let's work with that law of attraction. Let's think about that starting out with just that friend. That friend, that guy who's where you are right now. He's working hard on the job. He's doing well. He has a good career. He feels good about himself. He has his home or maybe a nice apartment. He has money. He don't have financial pride. He don't have bad credit. That's the guy you want. Think about it.
But I
You
do
know, you
have
read
that. I
about
do
him.
want that. I do
Yeah, you
want
want
that.
it.
I mean, the
That's
friend that I'm
what I'm
with
saying.
now has all of everything that you said. But would I settle down with him? I don't know because I have a trust issue.
Right. See, that's what I'm
He's
saying. You got to
attractive.
fix
He's
you.
tall, dark, and he got it going on. He got a good career. He's doing a lot of good things in his life, and I'm pretty
Right. But
sure,
that's what I'm
you know.
saying. It's time for you to fix Melissa. Do you read books?
It's funny because I don't. I really don't.
That's what I mean. So you got to fix that. The mind, everything happens right inside. Our brain is so powerful. You'd be surprised what that thing can do. You know, just like right now, how it controls your muscles. You can tell it when you want to speak, what you want to look at. You can tell it what you want, and it will get it for you. Just like when you said, "I want that." I remember we used to talk about getting that post office job. 'Cause you know they make really good money, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And look, you got it, right?
10 years
You
strong.
got it. Of course, it's a little different now. You're getting a little older. It's going to start weighing you down. But like I said, once you start rebuilding your body, start putting really good things in it. I'm talking about a lot of fruits, vegetables, lean meat, I mean, getting away from the bread because you don't want to get diabetes. Really, I mean, really learning about and study. I mean, all this stuff is on the internet. If you ever look up anything called alkaline, you know what alkalines are?
No, I never.
And acids. A lot of us, especially African Americans, we eat a lot of foods that got acid in. I'm talking about coffee, your breads, I mean, all red meat, pork, all that stuff is down in the red column off to the left. Then when you start going up to the gray area, you start to talk about salmon, fresh fish, sardines. You're talking about watermelon, carrots, asparagus, all this stuff. And I know it don't sound all that great to everybody, but that's what changes your body and it changes your whole mood because your whole system is affected by acid food. Like if you drink 2, 3 cups of coffee, you downloading a lot of acid and it affects your blood system. Once you start studying what your body is really made up, the biology part of it, you'd be amazed how to start affecting your attitude, and then this just starts showing through. Now the reading part, you got to start putting some good stuff in your brain. I know the girlfriend books are great, the romance novels, hey, but none of those African American publications got a lot of drama in it, just like what we have in our life. Why you want to read about what's in your life?
Right.
In your friend's life, they can tell you the story themselves.
Right.
Pick up some books like I said, Steve Harvey, T.D. Jakes, um, all these positive thinking books, Dwyer, even that book by Joel Osteen is powerful. A lot of these people don't find these books until they get in prison or they on their dying bed. And it was like, wow, because people start giving you these books when they think you're gonna die. This your last day, may make you feel good, so you can start being more spiritual. Do it now. And like I said, you start going to some of these places, like you may happen to find yourself this friendly church, and that guy might be right there, or you're going to the library looking for this book or this tape, or you're downloading this thing, and you're going to book clubs and stuff. And then you're starting to run into people that's thinking like you. I mean, I'm talking about people that's more educated than you. I'm just talking about they on the same wavelength you are, same thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's talk about fixing Melissa
We
and
gonna
the
get
friends
there.
of Melissa.
We gonna
Yeah,
get
just
there,
fix
Jazz.
you.
We gonna get there.
Yeah. Now go on the internet when you get a chance. I know you like your Facebooks. Go on the internet, look up alkaline foods,
Okay.
and start studying. It's so interesting. One time I took an overtime day where it was really slow, and I was pulling up pages. And cause my mom told me about it. She took a course in it, and I was like, I ain't listening to her. And I was just wondering why I didn't have the energy I used to have, because you turn 50, things change, and you still want to deliver that punch, when you need it, you know what I'm saying, right? So you have to start understanding what your body going through because your blood system is pretty much what you made out of, when it don't flow right and it's clogged up in the arteries. That's just like the water system. When you get those water main breaks,
Right.
it's because that pipe is old. It's not new like it used to be, and so much pressure coming through it just going to bust. That's how our body works. The
True.
heart, it'll just bust. The weakest part of the body is going to be the heart. So when that blood starts going through in that high blood pressure, it's going to pop that heart. Pain. That's exactly how the water main system works. It looks for the weakest point. So what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, especially for ladies, work on you first. Get that positive thinking in you. Get that good food in you. Pork chops and stuff is great. I love it too. But I gave up red meat in September. Once in a blue moon, I may want to have a little taste and get half of a hamburger from a really nice place to sell gourmet burgers. No, I ain't talking about McDonald's. I'm talking about, maybe the Red Robin has really good red meat. If you got to go to some places, that's going to cook it really quick. They specialize in burgers,
okay.
and you get the different flavors. Then you can treat yourself. I say stay away from the stuff that got so much sweet in it. Every Sunday having sweet potatoes or yams and macaroni and cheese is just not healthy for us. You can't do that stuff when you get older no more. Maybe a little bit is okay, but not your whole plate.
Right.
Like I buy small plates now, so it looks full, but it's like a mental thing. I say, oh yeah, I got enough food on my plate. It's because it's a small plate, and I'm not going back for seconds. Not eating after 8 o'clock, drinking water at certain times of the day, doing smoothies. Like I said, Melissa, you get that mind straight, and you work with that thing called law of attraction. I mean, you ever listen to Oprah? I'm talking about go online and listen to Oprah. Oprah got some stuff out there that's deep. And all this stuff that's happening to her, I mean, she's the only black woman I think got her own network. Because that's the way she thinks. Remember, Oprah was in Baltimore, remember, on our little local channel. And look at her now. I mean, look at Tyler Perry and those people. That's how they think. And I got myself like that. It's like, I couldn't do this if it wasn't for the fact that my mom gave me the information about those alkaline foods. Because I was feeling too bad. I only get 2-3 hours of sleep now. But I function. I go to work. I'm doing stuff with the commissioners. I'm writing research plans and doing analysis in different areas of the country, trying to find out how Social Security can treat the general public better. Doing those kind of things. Now I'm in human resource. I got to study a brand new job. And I'm reading stuff and retaining it. And it's like, wow, I used to couldn't retain nothing. I had to write stuff down and then talk about it in my smartphone and listen to it later. Don't have to do that no more. It's what we're putting inside of ourselves.
Right.
That's what I found out.
I agree.
So
when we get older, we tend to break down.
Yeah, we do. Because we can't be eating potato chips and all that. It's okay to eat it, but we can't eat bags of it. Get baked. You don't have to get the fried stuff.
Right.
It's okay to get a little taste. I had a baked crab cake today at G&M. It was a great treat. But I never ate that much for lunch before. I was like, oh man, why did I feel like this? Because I never eat that much, for lunch. I usually have my little turkey sandwich with a big a big leaf of romaine lettuce folded over, and maybe a little potato roll. And then I have yogurt and a bottle of water. I ain't never ate like that before. But because I feel like God has put me here to do something special, and I feel like He put me in a position for greatness, I can't be eating pork chops for lunch and bags of potato chips and corn curls like I used to. Well, I won't be around long to see my kids graduate from college if that's what they want to do. Or play football if you make it to the NFL. I won't be able to make it to the stadium. So I won't be able to walk. So it's like we at that level now in our thinking that we just have to, and I'm just hoping that this program would give you guys a chance to think about what I've just said, what you just laid on our hearts. I mean, that was some deep stuff, Melissa. I've known you for a long time. You're talking, what, 13, 14 years, right?
Yep.
And out of that whole conversation we had, what did you tell me?
About which part?
I mean, about your relationships. Like you told me the same thing you told me in 08. It has nothing changed.
Nothing.
You're still working a good job, which was good because I remember what you went through with the FBI in your book. And I'm so happy that your job is working out and you'll be able to retire and have a decent finances. But what's going to happen if your health is poor and then your mind is messed up because you're attracting these kind of guys?
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, as your friend, go download one of those nice books of those guys I just told you about.
You gotta make you have to
That's making time for yourself right there.
That's true.
That's making time for yourself.
That's true.
And then you start surrounding yourself with quotes and positive messages, and the music. Your music changes. Like I like reggae music for some reason. It has so much energy. I think that rap music destroys a young person's mind,
Right.
because they're not doing it but telling you about stuff that you can't have because you haven't finished high school yet. They're not telling you to hit them books, man. Hit them books. Read, read, read. None of that happening.
Right.
They just saying, I'm riding in my Bentley. I got my gold around my neck. I got the fat chicks. Now these young boys in school thinking they're gonna get fat chicks. They don't even have good grades. How you gonna get yourself a fat chick? They want a guy with money.
Right.
Somebody
Right.
gonna take care of them, give them some kids, send them to Vegas. You know,
I'm gonna go.
and that's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
download
learning.
one of the books. I'm gonna download one
Yes.
of the books, but I am gonna say that's still not gonna change the way. That's still not gonna change what I think and what I'm willing.
No, you're gonna change,
To
Melissa.
accept.
Watch, you're gonna change.
You know, in the first book that I wrote, I said that, you know, when dating someone, and this was 5 years ago, so I added 2 more C's to this. They have to have their own cash car, crib, and I added 2 more C's: credit and career.
You're gonna be
you
all
gotta
right.
have
Look,
one or the other. You don't have to have
hey,
all.
take care of Melissa,
You're gonna
and
get
good
there.
things gonna happen, Melissa. Believe me. You take care of Melissa, good things gonna happen to her. Download a book. I mean, they real easy to read from smartphone. You got a smartphone. Download one of those books. You'll be done before you know. You'll be on your route reading it. You know, because I found out since I've been in this program that I don't really like picking up hard books myself because I mean you're looking at the book and say, oh man, I still got half of this book to go. It's not like it's not interesting, but you got so much stuff to do. But I found out when I have it on my phone, I could be in the bathroom,
Right.
I could be watching the football game and be reading it, and I'd be at work. I could be sitting in the car. It's like I find a lot of time. It's almost like I could almost put an hour in a day to get through that book. And I stand up, wow, I'm done already. I was reading 3 books at one time on my smartphone.
Wow.
And then I have to write an evaluation of each book. And then I was reading some of my own because I said, wow, this is a really interesting book, especially books written on entrepreneurship. Those guys are telling you the secrets that they went through. And a lot of times when those people tell you those things, like they said years ago, if you want to keep something from black people, put it in a book. You know, and they're right. I was like, wow, this is in a book. And just like when you see those guys get out of prison, those guys that found religion and the whole thing, it's like, wow, what happened to him? He had nothing else to do but to read books.
Right.
So I say, take advantage of it. You know, while you're in good health, study that alkaline system I just told you about. Download a nice book. Get into it. And it's going to change you, believe me. I've seen some people change just like that. And then the people that they attract, they just started finding them attracting these kind of people. Because I always used to wonder, how come all these good people come to me? It's like they all have something specific in them that is important for me. You know, and it's like, how does that happen? I said it must be the law of attraction. Got like all the people that's helping me with these 2 websites. They just volunteer their time. I mean, it's like 2 of them are lawyers. One of them's working on her doctorate. She's really really good in administration and all this. She worked in studio work, you name it. And then the one guy, he was an IT guy. He specialized, and his girlfriend specialized in social media, so he's able to share stuff with me like that, because stuff I didn't understand. It's like, why am I being of all these people? Why do these people come to me? And see, I know it was spooky. I'm telling you. So then, like I said, God laid on my heart to put these venues in place because it's going to change the way we think, and like that's why I call my whole network Positive Power, because that's what's going to change. And black people have been distanced from this stuff for a long time, even though some of our great leaders knew about this stuff. Dr. Martin Luther King, President Obama, Malcolm X, they know all about law of attraction. They know about this stuff, but it's not taught to us.
Right.
We see these people, but it's like, wow, what is so different about them? Why are these people drawn to them? Why? There's some good stuff in them. They put in good stuff. Yeah, but study it and find out why.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Because you always say that you're on a mission manual, right?
I'm on a mission, Jerry. I am on a mission.
Brand new mission, sister. That's why I'm here. That's why we've been friends for this long.
Mhm.
Right? Look, we probably could have slept together. We probably could have went out a little bit or something like that, but it didn't happen. We just kept it professional.
Yep.
Stay in contact. I was working for you for a while. Got your product out. You did your thing.
And I appreciate that.
You're welcome. It's a path that we're on.
Mhm.
It's a path, and you have a lot of followers.
I have a lot
of
good
followers.
Friends. I have a lot of good friends.
Yeah, bro. I call them followers because they follow what you do. They your Facebook followers. There's nothing negative about that.
Right.
I'm not saying a follower like they're not a leader.
Right.
I'm saying they follow because they follow your every move and you sharing with them because you like to share. But what happens when you find what I just finished talking to you about? And you're like, oh my gosh, is that what Jerry was talking? But you'd be surprised how I be acting to him when I read some stuff. I say, oh my God, it's crazy.
I'm not even searching anymore, Jerry. They're gonna have to find me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna be attracted. They're gonna find you, and it's not gonna be all that junk that you was meeting before. It's gonna be some good stuff coming at you. Say, dude, where you been at all my life? He said, where you been at?
Well, that's how it always is in the beginning.
Yeah, people tell me that all the time when they was messed up. You hear those stories all the time. People was messed up on drugs, and then they finally, they read. And then they find out how bad. See, to me, the best way to habilitate someone is let them find out how much damage they're doing to themselves. Once you start understanding the biology of our bodies, that changes some stuff. I mean, unless you really want to die, then it's okay to keep eating all those greasy French fries and those big Cokes and stuff and all that heavy sugar iced tea. That's okay. If you say you don't want to be around past 65, or if you do want to be around in your 60s, but you want to travel around in a wheelchair, it's okay to keep going to Burger King and them places. They welcome you. But if you say you want to enjoy your retirement, all that money you've been making, enjoy your home, find a guy your dream, take some cruises, you got to start right now putting good stuff in yourself.
I do.
All right.
My friend right now keeps me on track.
All right.
I do.
Good. Now, let's say we at the end of our segment, and I'm probably going to have to split this up into 3 parts now because YouTube only like 15 minutes, but they kind of give us a little bit of privileges. But I appreciate you being on the show.
No problem. Anytime.
That's right. And and let me know when you do pick up a book. Text me and let me know you got one. You downloaded one from Amazon.
I will.
And tell me what even if you just halfway through, or when you get that feeling like, oh my God, is this what I've been missing? I want you to let me know.
I will.
And of course, we're gonna do something on Wednesday together. We're gonna try to do a show with one of your friends and see what's going on in their life.
Okay.
All right. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, you got anything to say to your friends before we close?
No, not really. Hi, everyone.
Keep it real, right?
Keep it real.
All right, well, that's right. We're gonna see a growth process. So let's get it started, everybody. Well, this is Jerry Royce. You were uncovering Mr. Right. I appreciate you listening. I mean, I know this was a long segment, but I thought it was a good one. Take care of yourselves and stay tuned for more and more and more of PositivePower21.org and uncovering Mr. Right.com. Peace.